Hello, dear friends. It's Carly Wharton. Welcome back to my porch. Welcome back to my channel. In this video today, I am talking about something near and dear to my heart, and that is counting days. So, this idea of counting days was something that I learned from watching reality TV, basically. I had not my own experience with addiction and getting sober, but I've seen enough shows where people like they know if they are an alcoholic, they know it's been 37 days, 12 hours since I last had a drink, kind of thing. They count those days to try to give themselves something in the physical to like hold on to, especially during those moments where you really, really, really want to go back to the bad habit, whatever it was. And when I came to daily self care, this most recent time, it was a little over 5 years ago. And I came to it with that mindset of I wanted to break free of my toxic habits of neglecting myself, of neglecting my physical body, neglecting my health, neglecting my emotions. I was not prioritizing my well-being at all. I was looking outside of myself for every bit of love and validation, and it was exhausting and miserable. So I committed to counting the days of self-care, and I made it to the upper 600s before I had a slip. And I did have a slip. I had completely changed my life at that point. It was almost the 2 year mark. And I was opening a business. And all the while, through the 10 months of working through planning the business and getting everything ready, um, I stayed on daily self-care. Every morning I get up and I do it. And then when the business opened, I just went back to my old ways at all day, sun up to sundown was work, and sometimes even a little bit more than that. And I didn't have time for self-care. And as I went into that experience of planning my business, and it was going to require a staff of about 30 people, so planning me as a boss of these 30 people, which I had never done before, so much of what I did in the planning phases was pre-paving what kind of a boss do I want to be, what kind of an attitude and energy do I want to show up with every day. And I was feeling so good because I had got to wave to the neighbors, they're going by, it's harvest season, all kinds of vehicles. um This is what happened. Trying to get my train of thought back. So that slip, that's where I was. Yeah, I quit doing daily self-care, and my work was more, my business was more important than my self-care. And for about 20 days, uh, I let it be that way. And that led to a day of showing up to work. And within half an hour, I was so frustrated. I was like nearly irate at the things that just weren't working. And I just like, I couldn't take it anymore. Like, I couldn't. It was too stressful. It was just too stressful. And I looked around and I said, 20 days in a row of working and no day off and no self-care, like that's enough. I'm taking the rest of the day off. And I declared that at about 8:30 a.m. And you know what? They survived. And that became the beginning of me restarting self-care. So it's now been, a little over 5 years total. Coming up on 2,000 days of self-care minus those 20 right in the middle, where it was basically a refresher course of if you stop taking care of yourself, your mood will plummet, period. So if you're in a bad mood, if you're in a place where life is just too much, take better care of yourself. And this is me to me in that moment of, once again, I had gone back to my old ways. I had gone back to my addiction of working all the time and not taking care of myself. And it took 20 days. to trash all the progress and to put me back in a place where I am so stressed out I can't even think. And no wonder I'm anxious. No wonder I'm depressed if that's how I'm living when I'm not taking care of myself. So counting days, that's how that came to be. And then 47 days ago, I got the inspiration. The inspiration struck to start counting days of no alcohol. So it just happened the first day. I've been a daily drinker for about 3 years, every day, every evening, quote unquote evening. Evening is relative depending on when you go to bed. So evening could start at 2 p.m. if you're going to bed at 6 p.m. You know what I mean? So every evening, I would have a few beers, and that was how I ended my day pretty every day for like 3 years. And it was a stress response to, I was still doing my morning self care every day all that time, but my business was so stressful. And instead of asking for help, instead of, delegating, instead of any of those things to get the stress off of me, I handled it and then came home. And at the end of the day, I just had a few beers and went to bed and did it all again the next day. And that led to 3 years of every single night having a few beers. And that then it didn't really feel right if I didn't do that. Like, not that I was necessarily addicted, but it was absolutely 110% a habit. And habits are hard to break, whether you're addicted physically or just addicted to the habit of it. So 47 days ago, I got the inspiration like, hey, yesterday you didn't drink, like that just naturally happened. And that was very rare, obviously, all the time I'm drinking. So you already have one day. Today could be day two, you like skipped day one. You did it without even realizing it. Oh man, maybe today could be day two. And so I just kind of held that loosely. I was like, all right, maybe today could be day two. And I get to the evening and I like pounded the water and just like made sure that my cup constantly had water in it, because the habit of drinking, the habit of having something to drink and the fizziness of it, I drank a lot of Perrier and other carbonated waters to try to replace the fizziness, the habit of drinking the fizziness in the evening. Um, I couldn't just go cold turkey and not have anything. I just replaced beers with, or seltzer beers with sparkly waters. So day two, I did it. Oh my God, like that's amazing. And now today is day 47 of no alcohol. And I've been thinking a lot about that process, because in those 3 years, I only took a break one other time successfully. I tried to take a break. I tried to stop doing it several times and I failed several times. And one other time I was semi-successful. I had 35 days of no drinking. And then something really exciting happened and I celebrated with 2 beers. I bought them out of like a single door where I can only buy two and bring home two. And I had those and I went a whole week without drinking. And I celebrated that I had rationed and like not drank every day just because I had it that one day. Like I went 7 more days without doing it. So I celebrated that with 2 more beers. I brought home 2 more beers. And that was the beginning of drinking for like another 365 days. So it's a slippery slope. And this time, here I am at day 47, and it's it feels very different because I feel like I'm different. I came to it in a different way this time than I have in the past. In the past, it was me telling me that me shouldn't be doing this, me against me. Like in my mind, I'm doing something wrong and I feel ashamed that I'm doing this. I didn't ever talk about it while I was doing it. It took me like 30 days after I stopped to be able to talk about the fact that I did this for every day for 3 years. Um, I still have shame around that. That this is me actively exercising the shame and like bringing it out into the light so that it can be seen and healed and not weigh on me. because honestly, accepting my drinking was what turned it around for me. Um, Accepting that, I mean, fuck it, like, fuck the shoulds. Like, this is what I feel like doing. This is my inspiration. I've been practicing letting my inspiration lead me. And every evening, my inspiration leads me to this. And on day two of not drinking this time, it felt different. It felt like I feel good, and drinking is a step back from how good I feel right now. And so I'm going to stay feeling good in this moment, and I'm just not going to drink those beers. And then it was day three, and kind of the same thing. Like, I feel better without it than I do with it. And that natural growth process, like, it wasn't ever about quitting something that was bad for me. It was always about, I want to feel the best I can. I'm doing my best as a human. I'm following my inspiration and reaching for the best feeling thought that I can find. And every day for 3 years, the best feeling thought I could find was, oh, it's time for a beer. Go crack it open. And that was great for a while. And obviously then in the year and a half or so that I spent kind of struggling in it, like trying to get out of it and failing to get out of it, I was trying to um, push myself out of something that I shouldn't be doing, that like drinking every day means you're an alcoholic. And I was shaming myself up, down, and sideways about being an alcoholic. And this time, walking away from it, it doesn't feel so much like I'm walking away from drinking as I'm walking towards feeling good. So again, it always comes back to my daily self-care practice. Of my daily self-care practice was all about spending time investing energy in feeling good in this little bubble of time, spending 15 minutes making a gratitude list or whatever it looks like for you, and carving that out for yourself and having that every single day, and watching how, as you invest every single day, it's cumulative, and the amount of bubble around you just grows and grows and grows and grows, and the amount of well-being prevalent in your life grows and grows and grows and grows. And it was so natural and organic in how my inspiration led me to standing on a ground where I feel more inspired not to drink than I do to drink. So there's no struggle. There's no like having to force myself not to do it, and having to talk myself out of cravings, and having to, fight against the urge to like bring home a 12 pack. Like, I don't have any of that. It's like, it's been the easiest 47 days of not drinking that I have had the whole time I was trying to quit. Like, it's never been like this before. And not saying that counting days is how I did that, but surely it is a piece of my foundation of building the dogs. They're always, always, always. Hey guys. Hey, hey, it's Scoobus. It's Scoobus. Good girl, Scooby. She's a good girl. She's very aggressive and she's very active. Where was I? Oh, yes. Yeah, counting days is definitely a piece for me of it's a tool for intentional discipline in a way that feels aligned. So letting it happen, right? Like counting the days when you start something out of a sense of like true inspiration, like it came out of you. And that is why I love, like, before I started counting days, I was already on day two. And that's how so many of these have been. I've realized, hey, it's been a couple days since I did that thing that's bad for me. Maybe I should just count, like see how long I can go without doing it, and just intentionally try to curb that behavior. And I'm going to give you some examples, because that's who I am. And this is the Owning Authenticity channel. So it's day 47 of no alcohol. It's day 45 of yoga. So I love that, because this gradual step down, it shows this organic process. It only took 2 days of not drinking, and the inspiration came that like it would feel really good to do yoga before bed. And so I did. It was like a 12-minute thing, and it was stretching. It was mostly like laying on your back, like happy baby style up in the air. Um, and the next day, I was like, holy shit, I did day one of yoga. I didn't even mean to. So maybe today could be day two. Huh. Yeah, maybe I could, carve out 10 minutes and make today day two of yoga. And I did. So that was very exciting. And now it's day 45 of yoga. And every day, carve out 10 to 15 minutes. That's the low bar that I set for myself and make it happen. It's day 9 of meditation. So these ones are very new. And that's a lot where this inspiration is coming from to talk about this, because I love how this list continues to evolve, and where it's like telling a story, it's leading somewhere. So day 9 of meditation, and that came out of an inspiration to reconnect with someone from a friend from earlier this year. And I just haven't talked to her in a long time, and we reconnected. And out of that came this inspiration that right after her and I's conversation, I meditated silently. It felt so delicious, and was like, huh, maybe today is day 1 of meditation. Maybe tomorrow could be day 2. So maybe I can carve out 10 to 15 minutes and do this meditation. And so today is day 9 of meditation. Today is also day 7 of no food binge. And this is one that is brand new to my awareness, a behavior that I've done my entire life, and I've never really thought about it like in a whole lot. I mean, I binge food. That's what I do. That's who I am. Like this was my previous thought. And intentional eating is kind of the opposite of food binges. Like in my world, a food binge looks like not eating all day and then eating everything in like an hour until my belly cannot handle any more input, and then going and taking a nap or going to bed. That's a food binge in my world. So I've been practicing uh, eating 3 times a day for like a month thereabouts. I haven't really counted the days of that. Uh, but even while I ate 3 times a day, and I was working on adding in these multiple meals, not just letting it be one giant binge in the evening, I was still doing the one giant binge in the evening. I wasn't giving myself a hard time about that. I wasn't even really thinking about that that's what I was trying to eliminate. It was more like I know, from a biological standpoint, that my metabolism goes faster if I eat multiple times throughout the day and like get it going. So that's what I was doing. I was eating multiple times throughout the day. And it was day 3 when I realized I haven't done my evening food binge in 3 days. Oh my God. And now it's day 7 of no food binge. And I don't know, that one feels like the slipperiest slope. There's something about filling my belly to where it's about to burst that's just like disgustingly satisfying to me. Um, Not to call you disgusting if you identify with what I'm saying right now, but like I just don't feel good. Like I eat so much that I almost founder myself, and I'm so full that all I can do is lay down and like be miserable from this like gigantic food belly that I have. And I don't like that behavior. I don't like the feeling at the end when I'm laying in the bed and I don't feel good. Like, yeah, I like the eating part and I like the snacking and the all the delicious flavors, but I don't like the feeling at the end when my body is like, why did you do this to me? And I've never even like I've never even had the epiphany outright of like, stop doing this, until I naturally stopped doing it. It wasn't something that I ever forced on myself. It was just something that all of a sudden I realized, holy shit, it's been 3 days since I did that. I'm counting it. Today's, day that's been 3 days. If I keep it with it today, today's day 3. So tomorrow's day 4. So just now I got 7 days of no food binge. And today is day 1 of committing to daily video content on my YouTube channel. This is a promise that I'm making to myself more than anybody else. And it's in this experiment of not having to necessarily create every day, But to capture my creativity and my energy when I do have it and turn that into content and work. I mean, there's all kinds of scheduling things that you don't have to work every day. I am not good at working every day. I'm not meant for that. I'm good with like working like 1 day a week and then resting for 6 days and then working for another day a week. And so that's why a lot of the videos from this time period, I'm wearing this outfit because it's all recorded on the same day. That's my philosophy of daily content. And I'm gonna see. I'm gonna attempt this daily content goal. I haven't posted anything yet today, but I've recorded several videos. So I feel fairly confident today will be day one and tomorrow will be day two of posting a new video on my YouTube channel. And I'm just gonna see, just for the fun of experimentation, how many days I can go with making sure that there's a new video posted every day. Uh, I don't know. We'll see. We'll let it unfold. And I'm so excited to see like what the next thing that gets added into this list of no alcohol, yoga, meditation, no food binges, and daily YouTube content. Every time the next layer unfolds, it is through this magical carpet ride of letting my inspiration lead the way. And I thank you for being here. And I thank you for listening to these sometimes crazy sounding philosophies that have worked wonders in my life. And I'm honestly just blessed to have an outlet to be able to share. So thanks so much for listening.